Oh, I guess we're recording now. Okay. Let's do it. Let's see who we're reading for next. It's August. We're doing spotlights and blind spots. I thought that would be appropriate. And it is Pisces. It's your turn, Pisces. So let's jot down Pisces so we can get started. Please check the description box for everything that you need to know about how I do readings, as well as where you can go to get a really comprehensive natal chart. You do need to know the time that you were born so you can get your rising sign, but this place has been operating for like 20 some years. It's completely free, and you can totally get your reading done there for your natal chart, astrology wise. Find your rising moon and Venus sign, and I would say it's good, and it's important to check all of those other things for readings. So with the magnetic poetry, let's go ahead for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What are your messages? Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Bad women. I saw the bad, and then we have the women part. So we'll put that up here so that you have it. Bad women. Is that a dirty message for somebody? Wow. Okay, Pisces. It's almost like we're getting a sentence for you, an actual message. Wow, that literally is a sentence. And I didn't even mean to do it. Okay, well, jot it down, play with the words, figure something out. Could have been getting a pound of sausage or, oh man. There's a little bit of innuendo in your message today, Pisces. We're going to use the Tarot of the Enchanted Garden for you. I'm trying to use my newer deck so I can get extremely well acquainted with them. On this side, we're going to do the spotlights because it is Leo season. We'll be doing spotlight, and then we'll be doing blind spot, where the sun shines and where the sun doesn't shine. We'll do 4 cards on each side. If any flippers or jumpers come out that make it more than just the 4, that's fine. I only do a maximum of 3 flippers or jumpers. Probably going to only go with 2 so that we don't have like card vomit. So let's see what we can get here. For Pisces, Tarot of the Enchanted Garden, and we're going to clarify each side with a separate deck of cards. This is going to be a little bit longer of a reading, although you probably are used to me doing longer readings for you. We have the Sun Moon Tarot, which we will use to clarify the spotlight side of things, and then on the other side of the coin, the blind spots, I'm going to clarify using the Deviant Moon Tarot. We will follow it up with a Rebel Deck Oracle card. And then also an I Am Power Pack affirmation for you as well. You may be noticing that I'm using this particular view, this specific tabletop view, so you can see, oh my God, how I'm shuffling the cards with these obviously not very skilled looking. We can try to do it like a normal human being, but these cards are not very flexible. The cardstock is extremely high quality. I cannot hope to bridge them. They're just too rigid at this point. Okay, great. Okay, twist for fairness at this point. Okay, flippers and jumpers, blind spot and spotlight. Spotlight first on this side for you. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do we have for your spotlight? What is in the spotlight for Pisces highlighted for them during this time in August? Okay, we have one. We have, I want to say that's the Queen. Let me just look through and see if I can find a King. I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning these cards, so it's going to be a little difficult. I want to say that's the Queen of Swords there. If it is, then we're looking at Libra individual, very cutting truth, justice, equilibrium. Just looking at that one there. Justice, equilibrium, truth. Yeah, it's the Queen. The Queen of Swords. A cutting truth could be on the precipice for you. You're either delivering a cutting truth or you are receiving a cutting truth, but also the deliverer of swift justice here with that sword. Also somebody who delivers balance. A balance has to be delivered at some point here for an individual. You're either the recipient of this cutting truth or this balance, or you're the one who's delivering it. Let's see what else we have. Also, Libra season could be of significance. So from mid-September through to mid-October. So October 20th-ish. What else do we have? Okay. With it, we have the Seven of Cups. It's about options. There's a cutting truth about options that's come in for you. I like to think of this like the Holy Grail, Indiana Jones. You know, at the end of Indiana Jones, that one where he's looking for the Holy Grail and the other guy comes in, he follows him in and he's like, wait a second, I was here first. And he gets his hot girlfriend to pick the cup that she thinks is the Holy Grail, and she picks this gorgeous fancy one. And he drinks from the cup. He's like, no, 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 wait, me first. And he drinks from the cup and then his face melts off. Think of it like that. You cannot build castles in the air. And that not all things that glitter are gold. You can think of with the Seven of Cups here. There's a cutting truth about options that's been delivered or that you're delivering. It could also mean that you do have options with your emotional connections, but there's a warning here about balance when you're encountering those, or truth or justice, a legality when it comes to these, this Libra individual or this individual with Libra figuring strongly in their chart. They're delivering that to you. That maybe you have had too many options or you're juggling too many options in the emotional realm. And not every one of these cups, if you look at all the cups and you can zoom in, not every one of these has something great in them. Some are a cup of chocolate, some are a cup of shit, some are, you know, venom. You have to be careful and discerning. That's been a theme that's been coming up a lot, is discernment, exercising discernment. So there's a need for balance and a need for equilibrium and a need for truth when you're encountering your options. And that's being highlighted for you, especially during August. What else do we have for you, Pisces? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. So we have it here. We have the Strength card in the reverse. Your reaction to this may be one of shying away from the truth. You could actually be lacking the bravery to acknowledge this. Leo energy in the reverse if we're looking at timings, Aquarius season. But you could be looking back to Aquarius season where you didn't have the bravery or the courage of your convictions I'm hearing to go ahead and make that choice and make the swift cut when it came to some of these options. Alternatively, you may have lost your temper when it came to this. Having this pointed out to you may have made you lose your temper. Remember, the Strength card isn't just about bravery or, you know, it's about taming the inner beast of anger, right? That lion is the inner beast of rage. So making certain that you're taming it. And it seems as if you were not able to tame it at one point. There was a loss of temper when it came to this being pointed out to you. Tell me more. Lastly, for spotlights for you, Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Only happy accidents, folks. A lot of people are getting the Tower. A lot of people are getting the Tower card. Scorpio energy here for you. there is, and I don't want to say it's all doom and gloom and calamity when it comes to a tarot card, but there is a little bit of a sideswiping energy here. I feel like there's a deliverance on your side of things where you're doing this to someone. Or where one of your options is delivering figuratively a fatal blow. You could also have been doing this. If you're the one who lost your temper, you could be the one who topples somebody's tower. They weren't expecting it. It's like a side-swiping energy, as if this cutting energy is so visceral, and there's such a loss of temper here that new foundations, everything's been rocked straight to the foundation. Somebody was not expecting this. And now they are forced to completely rebuild from scratch as a result. So that's being highlighted in your spotlight side of things. Let's take a look. We will clarify, by the way, we will clarify. But on this side, let's take a look at your blind spots. What you do not see and do not expect during August. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do we see in the blind spots for you? Something that you do not see coming, although we don't see that coming, did we? Okay. Oh. Okay, so we've got a Four of Swords here. There's a need for rest, recuperation, and meditation, healing after the Three, where there's heartbreak. This is something where you need to contemplate, where you need to build reserves of energy. A time where you are in the sick bed and also recovering from some sort of intellectual drain or drain on your mental capacities. Normally I don't actually go there, but that's where we're going with this, is a drain on your mental capacities, and now you have to recover from that. This individual has one sword underneath them, so it's one sword that they're reserving from themselves and building on those reserves as they have the Three Swords above them that they're contemplating on. So again, rejuvenative energy, time to meditate, relax, and resolve some of the past grievances of your that were kind of weighing heavily on your mind. Not even kind of, really, essentially. Yes, weighing heavily on your mind. What else in the blind spot? Something that you do not see during August. The need for that, the need for that rest. And with it, we have Temperance. Yeah, healing. The patience that's required for this process to work for you, Sagittarius season. The need for this to work its magic, okay? The tempering of two things, hot and cold. So moderation is also involved in this. There could have been a spot in time where you were imbibing so much that you're kind of sleeping it off under the tree in this card, so to speak. So that's also very important to note, but there is a position in time where actually Aquarius also had this card in this position, but this is a time for you to really exercise patience and understanding with yourself. Give yourself the time that is required to heal in this temperate spot. This is the angel of healing, the angel of grace, granting yourself grace to go through this process and observe it in its entirety, not really rushing through it, allowing that rest to happen to its full. What else do we have? Pisces. I'm trying to get through these a little bit quicker. I was hoping that it wasn't going to take so long, right? You were hoping that this wasn't going to take so long, but it is. And you're actually relishing in that, which you may not expect or may not know, right? Blind spots. You may also be avoiding the fact that this needs to happen, that this is necessary. Remember, because it is in the blind spot position. Tell me more. Okay. So we have it here. We have symbols. Signs and symbols. We have the page. We have the Page of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, What you do not expect is there will not be passionate communication happening during this time. You may not expect that you're not necessarily as fervent in your communications. You may all of a sudden feel like the mute, the eloquent mute, that your silence is golden. You could also be feeling as if at this time it's best to take rest and not express. But also you may be finding that somebody else isn't necessarily expressing themselves in a passionate, communicative manner as they once did. It may be for lack of understanding that this is imperative for you to do. But this can also be an important part of your process that they're not communicating with you in a passionate manner, or passionate manner, rather. Lastly, we will clarify, remember. Lastly, in the blind spot area for you, just no communication that's inspired. There's no inspiration in that communication. You know, what else? Lastly, what is the last portion of the blind spot for Pisces during August? Tell me more. Oh, that one almost dropped. It looked like the Hierophant, but we're not going to take it. Tell me more. We're not going to take it by Twisted Sister. I don't know why that's coming up. D. Snyder. Somebody with the last name Snyder. Okay. Let me have your last card. Okay. 6 of Wands. Triumph. Success. Victory. This is riding into town after war with your victory banner flying high. And all the townspeople cheering for you, celebration, jubilation, all of that kind of stuff. So there is a hidden victory in all of this for you. And I think the victory comes off the heels of your healing. And you may not necessarily feel that's the case because you do have here this period of rest that seems rather quiet. So it's hard to imagine with all the silence and all of this waiting that's going on that there is going to be victory at the end of it all, but there really will be. So it's important to remember that to trust the process. That's what this is really saying here. Let's go ahead and let's clarify. Firstly, we're going to start with the Sun, Moon Tarot for your spotlight side of things. Clarifying the spotlight side. Okay, let's go see what this Queen is all about. Tell us about this cutting truth. And I'm going to read for both of them at the same time here because I'm going to pull a couple cards. Tell me more about the cutting truth and the options, the emotional options, and the Queen of Swords. What is she delivering at this time? I saw Judgment. I saw a decision that was being handed down. What else? Oh, we have a flipper. What is it? Okay, 9 of Cups in the reverse. Somebody's not getting their wish. And you're delivering, or somebody else is delivering the cutting truth of that. You know, so you're having to actually sever some of the connections here with these options that you've maybe been entertaining. Somebody is going to get the heave-ho. 9 of Cups in the reverse. They're not getting their wish. And it's actually because you're exercising self-worth potentially. You're exercising an observance of your self-worth. Alternatively, it could be that it's an insult to this person. That's why it's such a cutting truth, because, you know, they demand more, and they are worth more. So let's see what else we have here. What else? What say you about this? Is there anything else that we can add? Okay, a 2 of Swords. Yeah, because you were of 2 minds. Or no, I'm sorry, 10 of Swords. Bed of Nails. I thought I said a 2. But Bed of Nails. Yeah, this is a very cutting truth to this person. It feels as if it's a decimation. They placed all of their eggs in one basket, it seems. Ain't that the most painful shit you ever did see? I wish that so that reminds me of The Speed of Pain by Marilyn Manson, where he says, I wish that I could sleep, but I can't lay on my back because there's a knife for every day that I have known you. So it's not just, you know, I don't like to pay attention to these little, you know, buzzwords on the top of the cards, but it's betrayal. It's a feeling of betrayal and abandonment and grief and loss and just like, but it's also an ending. And with an ending comes a new day, a new beginning, and an opportunity. Remember, if you're the person who had to, you know, lead the lamb to slaughter by saying to them, hate to tell you, but, you know, I have to start, you know, getting rid of some connections here to really, you know, figure out which one is the right one. It's better to let this person go and move on so that they can have a truth of their own. All right. What else? What else do we have? Anything else? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That is card vomit. I have 3 that I am going to take. I'm not going to take all of this crazy mess. I'm not going to take these anymore either, because I'm going to take these 2 that are stuck. There's a way that we do things. Well, the way that I do things. 2 of Swords did come down. It came down in the reverse. You're picking a direction when it comes to these options. That's why you're delivering this truth. Blindfold off. Swords no longer folded in front of your chest. You're picking from the fork in the road. You had 2 options, and you were of 2 minds, and now you've decided which direction you're going in. And it may be one of burden. It may be one that requires additional responsibility that you're saying you're prepared for. You would rather, and it's actually interesting, this conversation that you're having here with the Queen of Swords seems to be that you would rather have a 10 of Wands with all of the burden and all of the responsibility than end up with a 10 of Swords. That's what it seems like to me. I just need to take a bio break, so 1 sec. Okay, all right, sorry about that. Okay, so let's take a look at this angry outburst. I think this is this person's reaction. And you either weren't expecting it, or this is you not having the courage to face this person. And it is a cataclysmic event for them, just rocks their world. Completely collapse, a total collapse they weren't expecting. Tell me more about that. What do we have to say about that? Okay. Yeah. It was a merry-go-round of crazy. It was a vicious cycle. You didn't have the courage to address it because it was just a vicious cycle, an unending cycle, a complete circle, you know. That you kept on just going around. You were walking in circles with this person. Didn't matter what you did, you couldn't see your way out, so you chose the easy way out. You either created an argument with this person, or you chose a lack of courage. You chose, you know, a way that was not brave. You didn't man up. You made your decision here. It was a very visceral decision, but you may have lacked the courage and did not deliver the truth in a very nice way. It still was devastating to this person, but you found there was no point in arguing because it was just a vicious cycle. It was a never-ending cycle. The merry-go-round, crazy, bang head against the wall, see if it still hurts. Yeah, it was still an ending. It was an ending, Scorpio for Scorpio. You could see that it was going to result in an ending ultimately. a big reminder for whoever's on the receiving end of this, whether it's you or another person, that the unexpected ending that results here still has the possibility of building from a firm foundation once this tower has toppled. Transformation occurs. A phoenix does rise from the ashes. And that's what you're hoping for out of this, when you finally do end it, rather than keeping on going on a perpetual cycle for yourself. But I think also what's most important is the person who's a recipient of it. That's in the spotlight. Anything else? We have an Ace of Wands. You weren't feeling inspired. You weren't feeling inspired by it. It wasn't bringing it. This is the matchstick of the divine. It's also a phallic symbol. But it wasn't bringing for you the inspiration. It wasn't sparking your creativity. It wasn't the creative, inspired, action-oriented beginning that you were really looking for. And so there was a choice that you made to move on. It was very shocking to whoever is the recipient of this decision. This can also be a triple. I know that it shows like the blades of a helicopter, so it could be air travel. But what I'm seeing here, it doesn't necessarily always mean what I could translate it as that. But then the Six of Swords is normally a trip over water, a trip over seas. But moving from a burning building on the shoreline onto a new greener pasture and a peaceful place with all of your possessions. And that's what's happening here for this person or for you. Looking over here at the blind spot, let's take a look at the healing that's occurring here. Whoop, we're not using these. We're using the Deviant Moon for the blind spot. So let's take a look at the blind spots. Whoop. For Pisces. I used to know somebody who used to look at the cards when they would do that. For Pisces, in your blind spot, one more time. Okay. Looking at the healing that's occurring here with the Temperance card and the Four of Swords. Very apropos that we should see these two together. Let's take a look. What do we see? Tell me more. Tell me more about Temperance with the Four of... healing in hopes of contemplating the beginning of new emotional connections. How those shape up. Why they look the way they do. How you can approach them from a healthier headspace. How you can logic them out in a moderate fashion. How you can do so from a place of grace, having healed. You're contemplating this now. How can you approach it in a more healthy manner moving forward? Right? That's what you're doing. There's something about legacy here. Also, it's funny because I was saying it's like all the king's horses and all the king's men play chess on Capricorn's back again. The legacy card, you're looking for somebody to create a relationship with that you can create legacy with. And you're contemplating how to do that in a healthy, logical manner, but from a moderate standpoint. You're finding that you're always finding yourself in a situation where there's temptation. And with the Devil card here, Capricorn energy. That's what I was saying, because you see she's got the little, if you look, she's got a little goat doll there. And people are always playing chess on her back. There's always strategy involved. Looking at this, it's normally a card of legacy, building something of worth that outlasts your mortal coil, right? But then we have the Devil with this here. That's come out with our Temperance card. Temperance is about grace and patience and moderation and healing. You must heal your indulgences. You must heal your addictions, the things that you indulge into excess. Understand how that contributes to your inability to successfully start things and end them in a place of worth. where your time, energy, effort, and monetary investment pays off. There's a contemplative energy here over this, and the time that it takes to heal your intellect and your mental state after engaging in your connections is of extreme importance. It's in your blind spot right now. You don't expect it, but it's important. It's imperative for you to look at. And especially where your indulgences are hindering you. Tell me more. I saw the Lovers. Tell me more. Oh, sorry. With that, we have the Six of... Something's not working, or somebody doesn't work. Their addictions prevent them from honing their craft, or prevent them from working or being successful in their career in some way. This is apprenticeship energy. So the Eight of Pentacles is really about building a skill, upskilling yourself, becoming a professional in a career endeavor. And so you have a need to heal some addiction of some sort. The need to give yourself patience and time and grace in healing your indulgences, because it's impacting your ability to become an expert in a field, to become somebody who is successful and can build towards a legacy. You really don't need a connection to do this. You need to do this on your own. And I think that maybe in your meditative state, in your healing state, you're going to potentially come to the realization that the romantic stirrings of your heart of the Ace of Cups has nothing to do with reaching legacy. You've probably placed too much stock in your romantic connections leading you to that pentacle success, when really it's something that you're hindering yourself with, and could do better for yourself with anyway. Like it's not about who you're emotionally connected to, who you're engaged with and romantically. This is all you. It's a you problem. This is what this is saying. Yeah. Tell us about this communication that's not happening. I feel like this is somebody who doesn't want to speak to you because of the stuff that happened over here. But there's going to be victory. The victory, though, only comes if you make smart decisions. Right? So let's see. Tell me more. I think it's rather straightforward here, but we have a Queen of Wands who's angry. We have an Aries individual, somebody who's angry to the point of irrationality, somebody who's normally warm and nurturing, but you pissed them off. You done pissed them off. We have a Page of Wands, fiery, passionate, inspired communication, somebody who's got, fire beneath their words, but they're not speaking right now. You know why? Because they're done speaking. They done did it. And, it wasn't worth anything. So they're fires. They're going scorched earth on somebody's ass, and they've gotten to the point where they're running so hot that they're done. This is somebody who also leads through fear, somebody who's domineering rather than dominant. Their temper gets the best of them. This is also could be a gold digger, a third party energy in the reverse, but I'm not really, I'm not apt to do that and lean towards that. I just kind of feel like it's for the best that you do not engage in communicating passionately with somebody who communicates to the point where passion is poison, because that's what a Queen of Wands in the reverse does. Their passion is poison. Their passion becomes poisonous, right? Because it burns too hot, right? Somebody who also leads through fear, they bully, They push their way through. They ram their way through. Think of it like that. Tell me more. Anything else on this? You're getting the silent treatment from this person right now. And it's manipulative, I'm feeling. It's manipulative that they're doing this. I feel like all of a sudden you're going to be like, why is this Aries person not talking to me? Could be during Libra season. Remember the way I do my timings. Opposite on the zodiac wheel if it's in reverse, if we're doing time. You feel, they're doing this because they feel you broke their heart. So they're not communicating with you. They're giving you the silent treatment because they think it's a manipulation tactic because they're trying to get back at you because you broke their heart. The victory, though, in the end that you don't see. Recognition. We have victory for a lack of recognition. It's victory without recognition here. It's also performance energy. It wants to turn, but it came out in the reverse, so we're going to honor that. It's victory and triumph without the recognition for it. You could be trying to kind of like, you know, exercise humility because you know there's this kind of thing happening over here. This is kind of like somebody who's happy in a relationship and gets engaged or something, but because they have some people who are butthurt because they're not the one, you're trying to be humble about it and not so, like, you know, nonchalant about and brazen about it. Tell me more. Nope, that's card vomit. We can't take all of that. Anything else? Anything else for this six, Queen of Swords? Yeah, exactly. There's a cutting energy here, Libra energy, but there's a cutting energy. I think it's funny that we have the sixes because it's equilibrium and balance. But there's justice here for this. There's loss and winning. There's winning. There's victory for loss and then balance in all things. So, you know, victory without the recognition and accolades is the truth, is the justice. There's a cutting truth associated with that. Like, you can have all of the positive comeuppance, but you're not going to get the recognition and accolades for them. Or you can have the recognition and accolades, but you're not. It's an empty victory. Thank you, empty victory. And there's blood on this person's sword, you know. It's like they got victory, but what was the cost of the victory? So did they really win? That's what that's really saying. Okay, let's take a look at your Rebel deck, advice from the Rebel deck. And then we'll get you an affirmation, get you through August in one piece, okay? What is the advice for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? What do you need to hear? Pisces. Okay, that was easy. Seriously, just do it. Fucking apologize. Okay, so there's an apology that is forthcoming here. Okay, and affirmation for you. I love these cards. It's called the Ion Power Pack. If you're into affirmations, they're a great tool. But yeah, let's see, affirmation for you, Pisces. Get you through August in one piece. Pisces, that was easy. That was fast. I am fabulous. Okay. So just remember that humility is key, but at the same time, remember that you are fabulous in your own way. Yeah, you've got some decisions to make here, but nonetheless, if you like what I do this. If you like this new camera view, do this. Let me know how things are with all of this stuff. Validate what I'm doing if it's making sense to you, and we'll see you when we see you next. Thanks, Pisces. Bye.